It is my absolute pleasure to be here today to present to you all about how AWS and our partners are showing up together to deliver generative AI solutions to our customers. Now to start, I want to go back in time just a little bit. I bet you everyone sitting here, if you close your eyes, you can probably remember that first meeting you attended where the words generative AI were first spoken, right? And then it happened again. And it happened again and again, and it just keeps happening. You look around here, it's everywhere, right? This here is a snapshot of just a random week in time of all the headlines covering AI. For me personally, I actually went out on paternity leave the middle of last year, and when I got back, generative AI had exploded into the mainstream. It was everywhere. Things like first and third-party large language models, Amazon Bedrock, Amazon Q, solutions from Generative AI Partners. I mean, it was everywhere. Our customers were super interested. They had options. Business executives were inundated, interested, and so, therefore our partners in AWS sprang into action. So today I want to cover a little bit about how, what this opportunity is for our AWS partners to tap into. So if anyone's new to this space, I'll go a little bit about the opportunity. I'm going to talk more about how AWS is supporting our partners who are embarking on the generative AI journey. Liz is going to then talk about how to differentiate your offering, market with AWS, and tap into some really great marketing activations that we have. And so that brings me back to last year, new baby in hand, and just understanding what this opportunity is. So I want to run through a couple stats just to underscore that. So the opportunity for business executives is massive. McKinsey estimates that $4 trillion of global, gross value add will flow into the global economy each year because of this. IDC forecasts that 16 billion will move into $143 billion in terms of enterprise spend on generative AI in just a handful of years. AWS worked with BCG, and we pulled a bunch of our customers and really are asking them what they needed from AWS for this initiative. We found that 4 out of 5 of our customers are working with partners today to adopt generative AI solutions. And these are work streams around things like data management, data migration, POC production, moving them into deployed production, system integration, the like. It's just huge. AWS is no stranger to AI/ML. We've been in this space a long time. We've got an amazing roster of customers, over 100,000 customers of all shapes and sizes and industries are using ML today. And for partners, it's an incredible opportunity to tap into this database of customers to sort of move them into next generation workloads with Gen AI. And then lastly, on the opportunity, I don't know if anybody caught Amazon's earnings call last month, but if you had, you would have heard Andy Jassy talking about how generative AI is already a multi-billion-dollar run rate business within AWS. It's growing at a triple-digit growth rate, and it's growing bigger and faster than AWS did at its inception point. So we're super, super thrilled. So let's talk about how AWS is supporting these partners, and we'll start with the Generative AI COE, which we launched this time last year at reInvent. So I'll just give you a quick update there. So the Center of Excellence is available to any AWS partner. You get access to it through Partner Central. So if you scan this QR code or go to that link, you'll go to a sign-in page to get in. It really is just the resource hub for partners to get the latest training, market data, research, use cases, insights about our services. We want to get you all as smart as possible on our technology. We highly recommend the Partner Playbook for generative AI. We just updated it a bunch for reInvent for this reInvent. It's our top downloaded asset. It's where you can go learn more about the voice of the customer, different use cases, sales plays, which partner programs to tap into, and marketing campaigns that Liz will talk about. And then for any sales or alliance leaders in this room, professionals, we highly encourage you to take this sales course. It's a 2-hour training that gets into sort of the comprehensive information that you'll find on the COE. We just launched this a couple months ago, and there's one for technical resources as well. So now I'm going to talk about the Generative AI Competency Program, We launched this in March of this year. I'll talk a little bit about what this is, how to join, and what go-to-market benefits it unlocks. So in short, the competency is a customer initiative that connects our customers with a group of partners that are proven and validated to run generative AI solutions. So it's really, a competency is we maintain them within AWS because frankly our customers are asking for help to navigate the AWS partner network. There's over 130,000 partners in our network, and so these specializations are really what our customers are telling us they need to navigate to the right partner at the right time for the right job. And for people like Liz and I, we really hope that it helps our partners tap into the AWS economy. I'm going to leave a QR code up here. You can go visit our Generative AI Competency website for partners. It walks you through the steps on becoming a partner, enrolling into the right partner path, consuming resources within the COE, and taking trainings. The fourth step will be around submitting an application, around a self-assessment form and customer case studies that you'll submit that gets reviewed by our solution architects. And then once you are a member of our program, it taps into go-to-market benefits. So I'll spend a minute here to talk about these. Financial incentives are things like marketing development funds. So money that is available to really invest in some of the programs that we'll hear about in just a moment. We have recognition abilities through mechanisms like the Generative AI Partner of the Year award that we just announced yesterday, for example. We have the ability to flag your AWS Marketplace offering as a competency and filter by that. We have badging. We have the ability to connect with product experts to really get a deep dive into what we launch or what's coming to keep you guys very current about the generative AI stack. We help with visibility through placement on our websites, connections with various staff that do go to market within the company, and we've got really great networking, executive leadership events for our competency partners. Lastly, our competency team maintains a lot of dynamic benefits, which are benefits that we bring in over the course of the year to help partners tap into additional funding mechanism, demand generation campaigns, and the like. So I'll just show you who these partners are. We've got 134 partners now in this program globally. These are partners like global systems integrators, ISVs, startups, foundation models, and the like. So we've exploded. There's so much. This is such a very popular program, and we're super happy to support this tranche of partners. Lastly, before I hand it to Liz, please come over to the APN Village on the other side of the expo floor if you want to learn more about what these generative AI solutions are. We've got a kiosk devoted to showing what these solutions do, and you can browse our catalog, meet with some of the staff, yeah, we're here to support that. So let me hand it over to Liz, and she'll get more into the marketing.
All right, thank you, Chris. So here's the great part. We have some programs and resources to help you go to market with your generative AI offers. Now that you've heard about our Generative AI Center for Excellence, our competency program, I want to share information with you about how you can co-market with AWS, generate demand, and create opportunities. But before we dive more deeply into what's available to you, I want to share with you what I consider to be the most important thing that you should take away about marketing when it comes to generative AI, and that's to differentiate. And so, as Chris was saying earlier, everything is generative AI. Even when you look in our expo hall, when you're going to our sessions, we are leading with the phrase generative AI. But we need to dig a little bit deeper. We need to go beyond that and figure out what does that mean to your business and to your customers, and how will you differentiate yourself in the market so that you stand out from others that you may be competing with or that have similar offerings in the market. And so this is the greatest thing that you can do as part of your marketing strategy, is to figure out how you can differentiate. We do that at AWS by working backwards. How many have heard of working backwards before? So good, a few of you, yes. Working backwards is our mechanism at AWS for determining how we can differentiate and how we can use our own strengths to create solutions that solve our customers' most complex challenges. It really means that we're looking at data to dive very deeply into understanding our customers, what their challenges and pain points are, but also some things that we might recognize that they don't even know that they want yet, that we might be able to innovate and present to them as something that would be a game changer for their business. So I share this graph on this screen, and I encourage you to take a picture of this because you can take this back with you, look at your own offerings in the market right now for generative AI, or even those that you are developing, and you can use this framework to determine, what might be an area that's a niche for you, that is your unique value proposition, that's going to differentiate yourself in the market. So if you look at the top of the graph, you'll see what your customer needs and wants, and if you move to the right side of that circle graph, it's the value that your solution provides to the customers. Where those overlap, that is your unique value proposition. It's something that can set you apart. Conversely, if you look at the left side, where you see what your customer wants and needs, and then you see what your competitor offers, perhaps you want to avoid creating something that's like what someone else is doing, or if you do need to create something similar, what is it that's going to set your solution apart from that of your competitor? So use this framework. It's actually really effective to have those beginning conversations to talk about what's going to be a value add for your customers. So Chris talked a little bit about our competency programs as being a differentiator, and our Gen AI competency program is no different. And what we know is that for partners that have competencies with AWS, on average, they generate 2 times the revenue from partners that do not have competencies with us. And so it really is a value add for your business, and we hear from customers all the time about wanting to know which partners have competencies in certain areas. Now at AWS, looking into 2025 and how we are going to market for generative AI, we're not just going to be leading with generative AI. We're going to be looking at things like security and how generative AI can play a role in security. For example, you developed a solution that will help mitigate risk, that can detect anomalies before they happen. Perhaps you want to focus on a particular industry like financial services or healthcare and life sciences, manufacturing, travel, hospitality, and others. And so how does generative AI, from the full technology stack, from the bottom all the way up to application deployment, how does that help the customers in those industries work more effectively, more efficiently, and provide more value to their customers? And finally, workloads. So really concentrating on SAP, Oracle, VMware, and Microsoft, and how generative AI can help to make those tasks within those frameworks more efficient and effective for customers. And so we're going to be looking to you, partners, to figure out how we can go to market together and offer solutions that sort of marry these things together and provide that extra value to customers. On the screen, you'll see a statistic from a recent report that Canalys did where they were looking at what customers look for in terms of differentiation in selecting partners to work with. And 40% said they're looking for partners that are working and have expertise in their industries. So it is important to your customers out there that you have those specializations and that you understand what the challenges are that are unique that they face in their business models. So having all of this together and figuring out what you do really well then leads to your unique value proposition. And the other thing that I will share with you is we will always be looking for publicly referenceable case studies. And so if you're thinking about marketing programs with AWS and wanting to participate in our campaigns, our events, being speakers at events like this, for example, at reInvent, a lot of times the requirement is that you have a customer use case that can be publicly referenceable as part of that. So I would encourage you, scan the QR code, go online if you haven't already, look at some of our partner success stories and figure out how you can also put together success stories that we can feature not only on our sites, but that you can then use to nominate yourself for future programs with AWS. So co-marketing with AWS is like most any other marketing program. We start with a plan, And so if you want to access funding, if you want to access marketing programs, we're going to ask you for a plan. There are many ways you can develop a plan with us. You can work with your account managers, your partner development managers, partner marketing managers, but you can also access resources on Partner Marketing Central. We have virtual marketing managers that if you don't have assigned people to work with you, that can also help you create joint marketing plans. These are almost always a requirement for you to access funding, including marketing development funds or special funding like our accelerator programs. Leverage the funding that you have available to you, and so if you are a validated partner and you have competencies and service delivery designations, you will be able to get what we call prescriptive marketing development funds. If you are a strategic partner and you have a collaboration agreement with us, you may be eligible for additional funding for generative AI. And so there are many types of funding that's available to you, but the key is to understand how you want to go to market, have the plan, and then look for the funds to help support that. Create your campaigns and your assets. Have your sales plays ready, have your content ready, your ebooks, your white papers, have all that ready, because at AWS, we tend to roll things out really quickly. Has anybody participated in a marketing program with AWS before? So how many of you have had a phone call that says, hey, we're rolling out a program and you have to nominate yourself within 48 hours and you have to have a reference, you have to have a use case. I see some of you shaking your heads. That's how quick the turnaround can be. We try not to do that to you, but sometimes it happens. If you have these things available, you'll be able to access those things right away. Deliver through our channels. So write a blog with us, deliver through social media and tag AWS so we can pick that up in our digital marketing channels and track leads and co-sell through our program so that we understand what is happening in terms of return on investment. And then understand your marketing funnel. TOFU, top of the funnel, MOFU, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. I share this because I see this language a lot in some of the programming that's coming out of AWS. And I want you to understand that we're creating programs now that really target each stage of what we call the marketing funnel. And so if you're looking to generate a lot of leads, that's top of funnel. They haven't been qualified. Perhaps you're going to do that through a content syndication campaign or digital advertising. Or if you're looking at middle of funnel, maybe you're going to dive a little deeper with an ebook or a white paper. And if you really have customers that are interested in closing the deal with you and you just need a little more discussion, perhaps that's the time for the one-on-one meeting, account-based marketing, where you bring a small number of customers into a round table. So just understand what tactics are the most appropriate, and that applies to generative AI as well. These are some generative AI programs that we rolled out this past year, and we do expect similar programs to roll out in 2025. Unfortunately, with the timing of reInvent, we don't have everything baked yet. So I can't share with you exactly what's going to happen, but I can tell you it will look very similar to these types of programs. We typically go to market with a horizontal approach where we're focused on technology solutions like data and analytics, DevOps, security, migration and modernization, artificial intelligence and machine learning. And we also then take the vertical approach, which I shared with you earlier, where we're looking at industries and also workloads. And so you'll see similar programs moving forward and similar topics that we'll be rolling out in 2025. Some examples are content, campaigns, and events. We rolled out a Generative AI Trailblazers program where we paid for a customized video in full, didn't cost partners anything. You just had to bring a customer to the table, and then that was your video to use in your marketing campaigns. Generative AI for energy and utilities is another campaign fully funded by AWS. It was nomination-based, and it was a content syndication program with a content hub where we featured your ebooks, your white papers, your videos, and then promoted that through our channels. And then on the end where you see events, our tri-party journey to generative AI. And so we are very interested in multi-collaboration agreements where we bring together systems integrators and independent software vendors for marketing efforts, because we are interested in end-to-end integrated solutions for our customers. So the benefits are many. These are We've gone over these already, but I just wanted to summarize them for you. We can help you elevate your brand. We can provide funding and co-sell support. We can help you generate demand through our own channels at AWS, and we can also help you engage with our AWS sales teams. All right, so I got to wrap up, but I want to end by saying stay informed. Reach out to Chris or myself also, but go to Marketing Central, explore what's available, look at our APN blog because we make many announcements there. Also, sign up for our global sponsorship newsletter. These are opportunities for you to participate in our events like AWS Summits, reInvent, AWS Reinforce, and many other key marquee events that we hold throughout the year. And finally, if you don't know about Peer Talks, look at your AWS app, download it from Google Play or from Apple, and opt in to the Peer Network. These are facilitated, guided discussions on generative AI and other topics that you can participate in, learn from your peers, and get best practices that you can then take back with you. So with that, I want to thank you for being here today. Please do fill out your survey. We take your feedback seriously and we use it to iterate on our programs. And if you have questions, I'm sure Chris and I will be happy to hang around. And I know that we have to clear the stage, but we'll be around here and you can come and visit us.